Snakes? I don't know no snakes. Obviously from Home Alone. Christmas is coming, y'all. Hi friends, welcome to another episode of the Cozy Cottage Crochet podcast. My name is Hannah. This is a podcast all about crochet, a little bit of knitting, sometimes sewing or cross stitch, and generally living the yarniest life possible in St. Petersburg, Florida, where I live. Hello, I am so happy to be here. It has been a month since I sat down and recorded an actual podcast episode. We have so many projects to talk about. Like, the amount of finished objects I have is unreal. And you may think it's not been a month. It has, because I've uploaded other videos. There is, first of all, a video about the sweetest dragons in the world that Jen from Cinnamon Stitches, gifted my beautiful kids. She gifted them dragons. They're so adorable. And then I posted last Saturday an interview that I got to do with Dora Ohrenstein, who is a true legend in the crochet community, and I'm going to link that interview below. If you have not watched that, you need to go watch it. She is an incredible wealth of knowledge, and to be able to listen to someone like that was just like, it made my whole life one of the best parts of my year. Like, it was so cool to talk to her, and that interview is on YouTube for free. You can just go look at it, and she has a new book coming out. Now, I have a lot of finished objects, two of which are snakes. This is the Sara the Snake pattern by Jen from Cinnamon Stitches. I loosely followed the pattern, meaning I followed the pattern for the head and then about this, and then as soon as I was done with the head, I pretty much did my own thing because I did not want to figure out how to make a head, and I didn't. This yarn was Bernat Blanket Extra. I had 2 balls of this yarn that I got from when Joann's was closing. It was $3 a ball, and it is the colorway Bright Lights. I don't know how much this yarn is normally, probably like 20 bucks or some nonsense. You get 300 grams in a ball and 97 yards. It is a number 7 giant jumbo yarn. Oh yes, that's all that scribbling is the pattern. Because Jen has a tutorial for this on her channel. I will link the tutorial for the snake pattern below. And because I knew I was making 2 of them, I simply just scribbled down as I went the rate of increase and then decrease, and then I followed that for the second snake. These are identical as far as I could make them. Obviously the coloring is a little bit different here and there, but it's the exact same yarn. It is the exact same stitch count. I had pretty much the exact same amount of yarn left, and I worked straight after the first decrease till about here. And then I decreased by 2 stitches. I think I had 12. Did I have 12 stitches? It's been so long now. Yes, I had 12 stitches. Then I decreased down to 10. Then I decreased down to 8. Then I decreased down to 6. And I think at the very last couple of rounds, I had 4 stitches, and this part is not stuffed. I stuffed these as I went. You really have to stuff them as you go because there's no way you can fit your arm inside them. Let's see. I'm going to stand up. We'll see exactly. One of them is ever so slightly longer than the other. So we've got these 2 snakes. I love the spiral pulling effect that it did, especially on this one down here. I just think that's so cool. And then if I just keep pulling them up, you can see this one on the right is like 2 rounds, maybe 3 rounds longer, or it's been yanked on more. It was really simple. It was really easy to do. I worked both of these snakes up in a total of maybe 3 days. One snake took 2 days. I did the head one night and then the body the next day. And the other snake took only 1 day. I don't know what is happening with this camera. It really does not like this pink. It's not quite this contrasty in real life. I wonder what it'll do if I put it all together. Yeah, like that's much more accurate. So yeah, I worked a whole snake in a day. It was a Sunday. It was probably the Sunday after my last podcast episode went live. I just embroidered some eyes on. I actually have some huge safety eyes that I was going to try to put on these, but the fabric of this is so thick, I just could not get them to go in. And I tried with all my might. I could not get the back of the eyes to connect because the fabric was just too thick. So I embroidered them on. And this one is Nova's. I can tell because it's definitely dirtier and fuzzier. Hers has been, they have gotten a lot of play from my kids. I knew I had to make two because I knew they were going to fight over them. And they did. When there was only one for a couple of days, they both tried to play with it constantly and I had to make them take turns and it was a whole thing. So now they have their own snake. Nova's snake lives in her room. Noah's snake lives in the living room, and they have been on many adventures, such as they have been used to play tug of war. They have been used to fling into the sky. They have been used like scarves like this. Nova in particular will just walk around with the snake like this around her neck. Noah drags it around by the tail. He loves to do things like that. They have been stomped on, thwacked, beaten into the couch. The snake has gotten a lot of abuse. And honestly, that's why I made them. And so if you have a ball of Bernat blanket extra lying around, or even just Bernat blanket yarn, you could hold it double. You could make a snake like this in a day or two. And it is such a good gift for a kid. When I made them, we had some friends coming over that night, and Nova grabbed her snake and started beating the guy who walked in our door, which is totally fine. They're very, very dear friends. Our kids love them to death. And he was so funny. He was like, oh, it's soft. Because it's so soft. It's so soft and squishy. And I just am happy with everything about them. So if you want to make a snake, highly recommend that you make a snake from the Sara the Snake tutorial by Jen. These, I have to go put back where I got them because they were stolen. I had to steal them for this podcast recording. Nova is at school and Noah is asleep, and they will be none the wiser. I was going to get some red felt and sew on a little forked tongue on each of them. I went to Michael's because they should have felt, right? They did have felt. Did they have any red felt? No. Why is it that every time I go to Michael's, they do not have what I need? There's two Michael's semi-close to me. There's one that's like 2 miles away. I hate that one. They're awful. They literally never have what I'm going there for. I think probably 3 or 4 times the last times I have been there, I have gone for something specific and they have not had it. But there is another Michael's, a bigger, nicer Michael's that's up the road about 15 minutes. And they generally have what I'm looking for, but I try not to go there because it's a ways out of the way. And Noah is kind of dangerous in a Michael's / any craft store. He's just like, wow, and then tries to take everything off the shelf. So I went for red felt. They didn't have red felt. So these did not have tongues because now they're in rotation and I can't take them out of rotation, nor do I have any red felt still. So I think they're fine. They probably don't need any felt. I would have to somehow really, really secure that to these because of the abuse that they have been through. I would have to cut 2 or maybe 1 long strip, poke it in and pull it out around a stitch and then sew it down. Otherwise it would never survive. So yes, those are the snakes. They don't, one of them is named Slither. Nova's snake is named Slither. I don't know that Noah's snake has a name. This one's Nova's. That means this one is Slither. This one has no name, but he has been abused a lot. And he doesn't seem to mind. So those are my first 2 finished objects. Giant snakes. I don't even know what to do with these. I would love to put them in the background, but they're so big. I'm gonna put them on the floor. I also made 2 goldfish following a pattern, free pattern from Twinkie Chan's blog. There's an orange one of this and I can't find it. It's somewhere. It's probably in Noah's room and he's sleeping. This is Nova's goldfish. Noah has the same one, but in orange. And again, I had to make 2 of them because, you know, if you have kids, you know how it goes. It's a really, really cute pattern. I made this using Premier yarns, the new Basics chunky colors that they sent me, which I recorded a whole video about. There's been so many videos, but so few podcasts. And I really, really like this yarn. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to make with the rest of the yarn that they sent me because it's going to be really fun. So highly recommend this pattern as well. It's super easy to do. It's super easy to follow. The only change that I made was Twinkie Chan joins with a slip stitch every round and I just work in a spiral. because it's easier for me. So yeah, took very little yarn, very little stuffing, and 2 safety eyes. Very cute. That's 3 finished objects, y'all. There's more. There's more. I have a finished pair of socks. I actually finished them like 2 hours ago. I kitchenered the toe on the second sock. So I will show you these. I'm going to have to start a new pair of socks because now my on-the-go sock bag is officially empty. This is a bag I got from Slip Stitch Studios, which no longer exists. I have more than 2. I have 2 of their bags, and they're my sock bags. I have a couple, I think 1 or 2 more in my little bag stash that are like very precious. This company no longer exists. And I was looking at this the other day being like, I think I can figure out how to make these. It seems like it's a boxed bottom, square little pouch, different color lining. It has space for a drawstring. Does anyone know what this is called? This like webbing type strap. It's almost like a belt. What is that? Can I look it up on the internet? It's got pockets on the inside. I just love these bags so much, and they're this perfect size for my life. And I will be eternally sad that Slip Stitch Studios is no longer making anything. Eternally sad about it. But I have a few bags. They're my favorite, and I use them constantly. And today I was hauling this bag around to finish my opal socks. I finished this while Noah was at the park this morning. So this is the yarn. Very, very beautiful. I have half a ball left. And these, where are my sock blockers? This is where I was last time. I was on the first sock, just almost to the toe. I think I had a couple of rounds left, and then I was going to kitchener the toe, and I just couldn't get it done before the podcast. Yeah, that's maybe like 4 or 5 rounds. So this is sock number 1. This is what you saw last time, except for this little tiny orange part at the end. These are not going to match. I didn't try to make them match particularly, but because the yarn is not... It's not repetitive enough for me to bother with that. It's not like very, very clearly self-striping. So I just picked up where the other sock left off. So it kind of goes like this. And I think, I mean, clearly they belong together. The heels are very different. The toes are a little bit different, but I think they're beautiful. And I just kitchenered this toe like an hour ago. This morning I had just the toe decreases left to do on these socks. So a completed pair of socks in opal sock yarn. I think my first pair of opal socks. There may have been 1 pair of socks I knit a couple of years ago that I made out of opal, but it didn't have a ball band, and so I was guessing that it was opal based on feel, but after having worked these, I'm like, was it? Or was that something else entirely? So I just love them. Like, oh, I didn't tell you the colorway, did I? This color of opal sock yarn is 75/25 wool and nylon, and it is the colorway 3678. And I love it. I love them. The ends are woven in. Aren't you proud of me? My sock recipe for these is I cast on 64 stitches on 2.25 millimeter needles. I knit 15 rounds of 2x2 ribbing for the cuff. I knit 20 rounds for the leg. I put in a fish lips kiss heel, and then I knit all the way down to the toe and do a rounded toe. And I don't typically count my rows. I use a sock ruler. The sock ruler is my favorite notion of all time. It has saved me so much time, and I will show you how to use it. It's from Twice Sheared Sheep, and I am an affiliate with them, but I love this thing. I have purchased several myself, and this one's from their advent calendar a little while ago. So essentially what you do, oh, I can't show you because I kitchenered the toe. You would stick this in with your working yarn, like your opening, you'd stick it in the opening, and it tells you it has all the US kids, adult female and adult male shoe sizes on here, and you just knit till you get to that size, and then you do your toe. It has worked perfectly every single time for me. It has a centimeter and inches ruler on the back, and this one has penguins. How cute is that? So I just love them. I love this thing. I have one in each sock bag. In fact, I have 2 in this one. Go figure. So that is finished object number 3. No, number 2 snakes, 2 goldfish, a pair of socks. This is finished object number 5. I'm really happy with these. I just need to take a picture of them. hand wash them. And then I will have another pair of socks in my rotation. I always sleep in my knit socks. Always. Always, y'all. I know it's hot. We have air conditioning. My feet are freezing after having kids. So I have more finished objects. The next 4 finished objects are, I can't really show you the patterns for them. I can only show you the finished objects. So I have been commissioned to make some video tutorials for the company Hooks and Needles to go with their crochet patterns that they release in their crochet subscription boxes. And so they sent me some patterns. I have sent them back the video tutorials for those. I have sent 3 out of 4 currently. I just finished the 4th this morning. I haven't finished the tutorial. I finished making the item. And then I probably will continue to do that on and off for them as needed. And so I can't really show you these patterns, but I can show you the finished object. They gave me permission to do that, which I'm excited about. So the first tutorial I made is this flower mat. Isn't it cute? It's, let me get it really close so you can see it. It's all these individual little puff flowers that you then join together, and it makes this little mat. I have one string hanging off because I forgot to weave it in, but also I missed a spot when I was joining, and so this flower needs to be tacked down. I don't know how I did that. In fact, I think that this is frayed a little bit right here, which means I caught just the corner of it and maybe it didn't hold all the way, but you can't really tell when I'm holding it up. Nova has decided that this is the best thing she's ever seen and she wants it. She wants everything I make, honestly. Anyways, I told her she could have it once everything has been approved. So she will have it. I was like, what are you going to do with it? She was like, I'm going to make it a doll blanket. Oh, I would have thought you would have put things on it, but a doll blanket, this is going to be the fanciest doll blanket anyone's ever had for their doll. It's made of 37 individual flowers that are crocheted together. You can see the joins on the back. It's kind of crocheted together like this. It's not sewn together. So yeah, very, very soft. And these are all made out of bamboo yarn. In fact, I will show you the yarn because I have a ball of it right here in a box. It is Hooks and Needles Bamboo Touch. This yarn, this color 25, it is 100% bamboo, 95 yards for 50 grams. It is a worsted weight yarn. And this says hand wash. Now, bamboo can be really tricky to work with, and I'm not going to say it was tricky for me to work with, but the way that I crochet is not necessarily conducive to working with 100% bamboo yarn. For example, I needed to go up several hook sizes because my gauge is just too tight. And bamboo yarn is a plant fiber, so much like cotton, it does not have any stretch. Like, you are not going to get it to be any bigger than it already is. It doesn't have that elasticity, and it has no grip to it. So all of the fibers, or all of the plies, I should say, go in the same direction. See, this is not budging at all. So here's the plies. You can see it's made up of all these different little strands. Hopefully you can see that. And they don't stay plied very well. They don't stay twisted very well because they don't have that give. And if you've ever seen bamboo yarn come in a little cake kind of like this with a hole in the middle, there's a cardboard on the inside that looks like this. And if you're wondering why that is, it's because bamboo yarn is so slick and so shiny that it doesn't grip to itself. So if you were to roll this into a ball, make a cake out of it, like a regular wound up cake, it's not going to stay. It's going to collapse because it just doesn't have the integrity of the structure the way that a wool fiber would. Now, a couple of tips for working with bamboo, which I should have followed. If you find yourself crocheting tightly, you need to go up a couple of hook sizes simply because this yarn doesn't have any give. And it can be really slick and slippery in your hands. So if you find yourself gripping the yarn really tightly, one thing that can help you is to put some lotion on your hands, especially like a really thick, like super heavy duty lotion that takes a while to soak in, because that will slow the drag of the fiber down across your finger. So this is like it's just, it falls right off, right? But if you have a little bit of dampness, a little bit of moisture, lotion on your fingers, it will slow the yarn down. It will provide that kind of texture. So that can help as well. Also try out different hooks. If you try out different hooks, you may find one that works better. I was using metal hooks, which are slick on slick. So a metal hook with bamboo yarn, not always the best idea, but that is what I was using. So yeah, this, very pretty. Nova will be very happy to receive that when it is done. The second project that I did was make 2 bookmarks, and these are actually my favorite of all of 4 patterns, and I didn't expect them to be. When I looked at the pattern, I was like, okay, 4 bookmarks. And then I made them, and I was like, these are so sweet. Like, just precious. I love this one. It's so soft. It's so shiny. I love the little tassel. Like, I love it. This is definitely going into a book. I don't know, I just didn't expect to love a bookmark so much. And I also love this one. Like, look at how cute this is. This will also be going into a book. It's just, I just really love them. I don't know what it is about these bookmarks, but I was like, okay, time to start this tutorial. And then I made them and I was like, these are great. I think I would like to make more of these, especially this one, for gifts. Like, what a beautiful little homemade gift to give someone, a bookmark, and they don't take a long time. So that was pattern number 2. Pattern number 3, I still have to trim off. All of the ends are woven in and fray checked because this is going to Nova as well. Fray check is basically a fabric glue, and because bamboo is so slippery, you may have issues with your ends coming unwoven occasionally, and because this will be used by a 4-year-old, I put fray check on every single end that I wove in. So it's just a little mesh crochet vest. Obviously the armholes are going to be too big for her, but I prefer that because it's easy for her to take on and off. And I think it's just darling. It's darling. I think it will look really good on her. And it's easy to take on and off, not just because of the big armholes, but there's no buttons and there's 2 giant ties down at the bottom, which you can just tie like this, literally like that. And this is so soft, so drapey. One thing to note, because I blocked this pretty aggressively, one thing to note about bamboo is it's soft, it's silky, it's smushable, it's crunchable, right? Yes, not when it's wet. It turns into essentially wood pulp, which is exactly what it is. It is stiff, it is hard, it is uncomfortable. So you need to know that going into blocking bamboo, you're gonna be like, oh no, I got it wet and it's ruined. No, it's not. It's not. Let it dry completely and it will turn back into this. Okay, so this is like a little airy crochet vest. Nova is going to love it. She hasn't even seen this one, or she'd already be bugging me for it. So yes, that is finished object number 3. I have to do a few edits still on that tutorial and then get final approval on it. And then I'm going to say in a couple of weeks, I will gift it to Nova. And then the one that I finished this morning, not the video recording portion of it, but the actual finished object, is this little cowl. And I don't know if this is going to go to Nova or not. She doesn't tend to wear stuff around her neck, really. It kind of bothers her, but it is pretty. It is pretty. And it has this like gorgeous cable pattern. Crochet cables, I find them to be gorgeous, but not usually my jam. Like I generally do not seek out crochet cables because they're a little bit, they can be a little bit tedious. But I actually really enjoyed these, especially because they're crisscrossing back and forth. I just think it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. I enjoyed making these and it wasn't so many. Like if I were, there's crochet cable blankets and things, too much for me, right? I actually miscrossed a cable and I didn't realize it until at the very end. And so what I did was I just did not show that part in the video. You can't even tell from back here. You're just like, oh, how pretty, a beautiful little cowl. But right here, if I hold it up close, you can see that this is not the same as this. These are beautiful little X's and V's, right? This one goes on top. So it should not be like that. I miscrossed the cable. And then the rest of the cowl has this lovely little texture made with back post stitches and then these fans. And I'm going to block this pretty aggressively too so that this really opens up. I just think it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I've done the bulk of the video recording on this, but I need to block this, do some B-roll, and then there's all kinds of things that you need to do when you're making a tutorial, especially for somebody else, right? If I were just talking and uploading something to the interweb, that would be not very hard. But I need, for this, I would definitely need to have timestamps and captions with specific font and specific color placement and text overlays and transitions and all things like that. So it's been quite exciting to work on all of those. And it's given me an opportunity to try projects that I generally would not choose. Like I generally would not choose to make a crochet cabled cowl. I would probably have never made these bookmarks, and I'm kind of obsessed with them, like truly obsessed. So yeah, if you want a Hooks and Needles subscription box, you totally can. You can go get one for yourself. And I have enjoyed that. I think that there's some more yarn on the way for me to make a few more. So I imagine I'll have some more patterns to show you, more finished objects to show you in the future. That is all the finished objects, question mark? Is it? It's not. It's not. I have a cross stitch. The cross stitch finished object I just finished yesterday or 2 days ago. Ta-da! Okay. This actually has been done for a little while too, but I messed up on this H and just yesterday or the day before went back and fixed it. It was in timeout because I was mad at it. If you have no idea what this means, it is from a video game called Skyrim, which I have dedicated too much of my life to. Just kidding, it's not too much. It's never too much. I will play Skyrim till I die. In that game, your character is dragonborn, meaning you have special dragon powers. And the first dragon shout you learn is this one, which is Fusro Da. And so this is the dragon language, and this is what it is in English, Fusro Da. And so I made a crochet chart on the internet for this, and then I stitched it. Now, I really thought that I was going to run out of space on this fabric. So I started really close to the top, which was not a good idea. Look at all this space I have down at the bottom. I completely miscalculated. And now I have almost no space up here to do anything with. I don't think it's going to matter significantly because I'm going to put this in a frame. I thought briefly about making a bag or something or a pillow out of it. I could still potentially make a pillow out of it, but like, it'd be a pretty skinny pillow. I think it would look better in a frame. The challenge is going to be finding a frame that will fit this. I may have to find a bigger frame and do some of my own matting on it with cardstock. So just because this is so close to the edge. Generally, you would want at least an inch all the way around, which there's plenty of room over here. There's tons of room over here. And I don't know, I just did my math like completely wrong because I really thought I was going to be pushing down here to the very edge on this fabric. I don't know. Math is not my strong suit, I guess. So last time, I don't remember exactly where I was. I think maybe I had the H left to do, but there was another row of blue crosses right here in the middle of the H, and it just looked really wonky to me. My husband said it looked fine, but I was finagling the H as I went because I realized, because I made this chart myself off of a picture on the internet, that this H was significantly smaller than every other letter in the entire pattern. It was like 3 shorter and 1 this way, 1 less wide. What am I trying to say? So I was like finagling it as I was stitching it and putting stitches here and there and everywhere. And so originally the H cross, this part of the H was lower. And I started it lower and then I realized it was way too low and it looked ridiculous. So I added on top of it, but then it was too bulky. It was more bulky than any other letter in the bit. So I had to rip some of it out. And you can see that I was finagling it because look at the back of that H. It's threads everywhere. Look at the back of the other ones. Beautiful, perfect, hardly a problem at all. This H is a disaster. And actually what I need to do before I put any kind of frame on this is I need to put a little fray check right here on these 2 sides because I snipped it in the middle and I unraveled those stitches and pulled them through to the back. So they are not secured by anything. So if this is treated roughly at all, which I don't plan on it, but like you just never know, right? If it's treated roughly at all, it's going to come undone. So I need to put a little fray check on the back of that. And then yeah, it's done. I love it so much. I showed it to my husband who is as big of a nerd as I am, probably even bigger. And he was like, love it. Love it. This is very much our aesthetic. I just need to put some fray check on the back and then find some kind of frame for this. Maybe I'll go to Walmart, see what I can do. I'll just take it with me. It's just such an awkward size, you know? So that means the remnants of 2 cross-stitch projects are in this bag. The one that says Osuki, which I still have not mailed to my friend. Her birthday was in June, y'all. I have to mail that. And that one are now completely done, which means I only have 1 active cross-stitch on my frame. If you're a cross-stitcher, how do you say this? 1 active whip? I was going to say I have 1 active cross-stitch on my needle. It's not really a needle, but I guess it is a needle because it's a sewing needle, right? Right. So that's it for finished objects. Let's move on to whips, and we're going to continue with cross stitch because actually I have something to show you. So the only other project that I am working on is again a chart that I made myself off of a picture on the internet. Highly do not recommend. This took hours. But it is a banana stand. This is Bluth's original frozen banana, and it says there's always money in the banana stand. This is a reference to Arrested Development, the TV show. And I made my own cross stitch chart for this, and it has not been touched in a while, but I did make some progress on the banana this week. So all of this right here, I had done this outline up to about here. And then I did this part, and then I started filling in. This banana is going to be 3 colors. This is the darkest color. There'll be a bright yellow and then a light yellow on this side. And yeah, I love it. I love it so much. I thought that it would be easiest to go around and outline the whole thing and then fill it in instead of counting. But honestly, filling it in is so much easier if I just, like, they're not that many, right? This entire row right here has 11. I can't count to 11. I mean, truly, I might not be able to count to 11. You just never know. So I'm really looking forward to putting some more work into this now that this is the only cross-stitch project I have on the go. And it's quite a big one. So yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited. But wait, there's more. There's more. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 more whips we have to talk about and some Happy Mail. My husband's about to do some yard work. So I deeply apologize if you hear the sounds of leaf blowing, weed whacking, lawn mowing in the background. It has to be now because it's going to rain for like the rest of the week. I'm so sorry. This is real life. There's nothing I can do about it. Let's just start with what's closest to me. It is a pair of socks. So these are my Halloween socks. This is Halloween yarn from Hobie. I got this last year for $7 when they were having a sale. This is Hobie Halloween sock wool in the color number 3. This is what it looks like. I have started this sock twice because the first time I started it, and then I think I started in the orange, or I might have started in the orange and it suddenly changed to black because there was a knot, or I started in the black and it suddenly changed to orange. I don't remember, but I had to rip it out because I cannot abide with the stripes not being correct. I don't mind a knot. I mean, I hate a knot, but if it continues in the same color and doesn't mess up the strike sequence, that's fine. But it did not, so I had to rip it out and start over. So this is where I am. I honestly don't know if have I shown these to you before? I don't remember. And if I did, where was I? There's no stitch marker. So it's like the Wild West over here. Same sock recipe as my last sock. These stripes are like mega. They're so big. I did not change for the heel. Don't care. The other sock I will do my best to make match this. And hopefully I will have these done before Halloween. I should, because that's 2 months away. But yeah, just enjoying working on those. They just kind of live on the couch. And they got a lot of work a few weeks ago. And they haven't really been touched since because I've been working on all of those other projects. The next project that got a little bit of love is this crochet bag, which is a hooks and needles pattern. I have been working on this since last year, and I quit for quite a long time because I had elbow surgery. And this one in particular was like bothering my elbow. It is the Urban Drawstring bag from one of their subscription boxes. And the yarn, I'm using the yarn that they sent in the subscription box. And it is the Hooks and Needles Merino Wildflower yarn, which looks like that. It's so pretty. It's a fingering weight yarn, so I definitely will need to line this. But it's gotten about ½ an inch of work since the last time you saw it. This was where it was, and I've put in all of those rows. That's probably 3 or 4 rounds, which is a fair amount of work because this is all front post and back post stitches. But it creates this amazing texture, and I love it. I really love it. So that has gotten a tiny bit of love. Hopefully it will get a tiny bit more, but I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush to finish it. The last two projects are for Nova. Of course they are. So her blanket got a ton of love for a couple of weeks. It has not been touched in a little while because of those other green bamboo projects that I was working on. But overall, this is the project that has gotten the most work. And actually, it's not attached to a ball of yarn, so it'll be really easy to show you. Prepare to be amazed. This little mouse, look at this little stitch marker. Isn't he adorable? That's where I was last time. I have done all of this. This is a ton of work. This is not a quick blanket to work on. This is how much it is total. It's still not very long. It would not even cover her. It needs to be probably twice this long to be an acceptable blanket size. But it is fairly wide, if that helps. See if I can, oh, just kicked my cross stitch. Stand up. So this is how wide it is. It's honestly, it's not quite wide enough to be a twin, but it's definitely wide enough for a 4-year-old. And she wanted pink and purple. I love how the colors are fading right now. So I did light to dark in the pinks. And now that I'm done with the pinks, this is my first purple. I'm gonna go dark back to light. And then we will go into some blues because I definitely don't have enough pink and purple yarn to finish this entire thing. Maybe I'll work on this tonight a little bit because the hooks and needles projects are done as far as the crochet is concerned. I just have some video editing to do. Yeah. This is a really, really good, it's not mindless because I have to count, but this is the Ripple blanket pattern, Easy Ripple blanket by Attic24. It is a free pattern. If you just Google Attic24 Easy Ripple, this will pop up. You only have 4 stitches in between the peaks and the valleys. And that for some reason I have been able to keep on top of. There was, I wonder if I can even find it. On the ends, it's not 4. It's 4 and then the end, which is usually an increase. And I have messed up the end stitches 3 or 4 times. There's one where there's only 3 stitches and I had to fudge it on the next round. No one will know. Who cares? Not me. No one will know. And I was playing Yarn Chicken hardcore. This is how much of the pink yarn I had left on this row. And this is how much of the purple yarn I have left. That's it. That's it. So let's see. This is Caron Simply Soft. This is Red Heart. This is Red Heart as well. And this is another color of Caron Simply Soft. This is Just Yarn, Premier Just Yarn. And then this is a Red Heart Soft, I believe. And so I've put in quite a few. I mean, it's pretty hefty already. I'm trying to think what would be the next color. I think I took a picture of it on my phone when I laid it all out. It's probably gonna be this. This is Caron Simply Soft Party Yarn. I don't know how many rows I'm gonna be able to get out of this. Maybe only 4 rows out of that. And then we will go into this color probably. Yes, this is Loops and Threads Soft Classic. Color VN104. Boring. Why would you not tell me the actual color? Anyways, I love this color. I think these will go well together. This I'm not going to have very much of. So as soon as this runs out, we will be going into this. So we're going kind of to the lighter end of the spectrum. After this one is blues because I have 2 balls of this, but no more purple after that. So that's kind of where we are. It got a lot of love for like 2 weeks in a row, and then it has not been touched in at least 2 weeks. The other final pattern that I've been working on is a new one. You guys have not seen this one yet. And let me find my pattern. This is a pattern that I purchased off of Etsy just because Nova has been telling me she wants a cat. She wants a cat, she wants a cat, she wants a cat. This is called Tofu the Cat Snuggler. It's very cute. It's meant to be made in like a plush yarn, but I'm actually using a bunch of yarns. I have only made the head so far. I would like to make some more progress on this. Coming up as well. This looks very weird. So I've made the head. It's got little cheeks. I promise it'll look better once it has ears on it. But all of these pieces require sewing. Ugh, I hate sewing amigurumi together. So I bought something to help with that, which I will show you in just a second. But let's go over the yarn. So I am using this, which is Knit Picks Snuggle Puff yarn. Where is the ball band? Yes, Knit Picks Snuggle Puff yarn. It is 70% cotton, 30% nylon, and it's very poofy. You can see how fluffy it is. I have 2 balls of this that were a gift from my friend Amanda. And I have 1 ball. There's like 5 strands of yarn in here. And so I'm trying not to mess up the apple cart. I don't know that I'm going to be able to find the ball band for this, but this is alpaca yarn. You know what? We're just going to untangle it. This is 100 grams of a fingering weight, 100% alpaca yarn. I think it was 100% alpaca. I'll let you know if I can find the ball band. Also in this beautiful peachy, pinky color. And I thought that holding it double with this would be perfect, but I actually ended up splitting the ball, and now I'm holding this, all 3 strands of this together. And this is some kind of mohair. No ball band, no idea. Literally no idea. It's coming up very brown on screen, but it's actually kind of like a dusky pink. And so all of these together makes this, this color, which is a little bit fuzzy, which is why I added the mohair, because I wanted it to be a little bit fuzzy. I'm gonna drop all of these. So I have all these arranged very carefully in this giant bag. That was a gift from Lynn over at Daybreak Knots and Knits. It's basically my amigurumi bag for the time being. I've got to find, there's the tag for the alpaca yarn. It's Long Island Livestock Company. And it is 70% alpaca, 25% wool, 5% icicle. And I don't know that this is probably not going to show up. Oh, maybe it is, just a little bit. There's a little bit of sparkle in that yarn, which is really, really cool. So all of that is living in there with my hook. Where's my hook? Gone forever, probably. So I have all of this. I have completed the first piece. There's a lot of pieces in this pattern, truly. Like, I think you have to make a head, you have to make 2 ears, a tail, a body, paws. Oh, paws and feet. Okay, so I guess the upper legs are called the paws and the bottom ones are called the feet. The hind legs are called the feet. And then you do facial shaping. There's all kinds of stuff going on in here. I truly loathe sewing amigurumi parts together because I've never found a good way to get them to stay. Like, if I want to put an ear on, I put like safety pins, stitch markers, something to hold it down, and then I try to sew it, and for some reason it literally always ends up lopsided. So I saw this on Cinnamon Stitch's channel, and someone had sent her this in the mail, and it was called, they're called amigurumi sticks. And I was like, I did not know those existed. And these are magical. Sorry about the crinkling. They're like really packed in here. I have not used them yet, but I imagine they're gonna make my life so much easier. These are the ones I bought. I wanna say this entire thing was $5 on Etsy. They were not expensive, okay? Look at them. So they're essentially double pointed knitting needles, metal double points, who knows what kind, probably a cheap kind, with some silicone focal beads on top that have been glued on. I assume hot glue or something else that would connect to metal. So I bought them because they're Pac-Man, and I love Pac-Man. So essentially what you would do is I'd put my ear here and I'd stab it all the way through, and it would stay because this is long. You can actually hold things together with these. So I'm really excited to use them. Maybe it will be life-changing for my amigurumi journey. I have been able to make, I used to never make amigurumis because it killed my elbow. But now I've had elbow surgery. My elbow is doing a lot better. In fact, this week I have had very little elbow pain. Certain things still bother it a lot, and I have to be really careful, especially with knitting. Knitting bothers my elbow more than anything else. But the amigurumi, because you work at such a tight gauge, that used to hurt my elbow extensively. Like it would just hurt so bad. And so I really stayed away from making amigurumi, even though they're very cute. I would make some sometimes for my kids or like something like that, but I just couldn't do it because it caused too much pain. And now it's not hurting as bad. Also, I have been trying to not work on worsted weight yarn amigurumis. I've been trying to either hold yarn, what is this, quadruple? I have 4 strands of yarn coming off of this. Or I work with a bulky yarn, or the snakes I work with a super bulky yarn. Something where it's not a really small hook, like a 3mm hook on a worsted weight yarn. I think that would still hurt. But this has not been bothering me as much. So, pretty excited about that. Pretty excited. So yeah, amigurumi sticks. Search on Etsy for them. If you make a lot of amigurumi, I literally just typed amigurumi sticks into Etsy. Those were like $5.35 plus shipping. I hope they will be life-changing. I hope. Now, water break. I'm parched. This is electrolytes. I have some happy mail to go over with you. 2 purchases. 1 thing that came in the mail for me. I will show you the gift first. It was a lovely surprise for my friend Chelle, who is of Chelle Crochet. She's in Canada, all the way in Canada. And I have been dying to use all of this, but I wanted to save it for an actual podcast first. I will link her podcast down below. You need to go check her out because she's lovely. And she makes blankets, shawls, cowls, a lot of modular projects that can be put together, and a lot of charity knitting. And I'm saying knitting. It's all crochet. It's all crochet. But she does a lot of charity type stuff for Project Linus and other such organizations. And I just think it's fascinating. Like she whips out projects like you would not believe. It's crazy. And I just enjoy watching her. She posts 1 video a month usually, and it's a wrap up and it's kind of a vlog style. And it's just really cool. She just posted her September or like end of August. At the end of August, she posted her August vlog. What am I trying to say? So anyway, she contacted me a little while ago and said that she has a 9mm furls crochet hook and she was not going to use it. And would I like to try it? Because I was saying I didn't have a 9mm hook. And this is a wooden one. It's a Furls Streamline 9mm hook. This is what it looks like. I'm excited to use it. I bet that it would work pretty well with this Premier Basics chunky yarn. So I haven't used it yet because it's been waiting in a bag to show you, but I'm going to use it and report back. She also made me a dishcloth and a little scrubby, which will 100% be used. I love handmade dishcloths. I love them because you can throw them in the wash. Like I grew up with sponges. Like my house just used sponges a lot, which is totally fine. Sometimes you need a sponge, especially the scrubby side, right? But since being married, having my own family, my own house, like I just really love a dishcloth because I can wipe a kid's face with this and clean a dish with this. I can clean the counter. I can do everything with this rag and I can throw it in the washing machine. It comes out perfect. So I'm really excited. I really like these. They're really, really special. In fact, she made me one previously that was like rainbow cotton and some little face scrubby rainbow cotton pads. Nova stole all of the face scrubbies and they're still in her room being used for various things. But the actual dishcloth is, you can't see it because it's off camera, but it's overhanging on my sink because that's what we're using this week. There was a lovely, lovely little card. And inside the card was a bunch of stickers. I love me some stickers. Look at all these. So if you're getting mail from me in the future, you're probably going to be decorated with some yarn stickers. I just think these are so cool. And there was a really, really sweet note. There was a bunch of tea, which is throat coat. I always need throat coat tea. Allergies. And some buttons. Little wooden buttons. Now I have to make, for Nova, something with these buttons because look at them. Little wooden hearts with flowers on them. And then stars with flowers on them. They're so precious. Now I need to make her a cardigan, don't I? I do. So thank you, Chelle. That was so lovely of you. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. And it really brightened my whole life. My whole life. I love it. I'm really excited this will probably be the first thing that gets used. And maybe I shall make myself a cup of tea immediately. The other 2 things that came in the mail are purchases that I made. One is a pre-order and one, I'll show you this one first because this, I haven't used it yet. I literally just got it. My sister-in-law has been getting into crochet and making tiny little amigurumis, and I saw this again on Jen from Cinnamon Stitches channel. I've been very influenced by Jen as of late. And it's called the Cookie Box. They sell them on Amazon. They're like $14 to $17, I think, for 10, but they had a buy two, get one free deal going on and a $2 off coupon. So for, I want to say for $30, I think it was $30, I got 3 of these, and 2 of them are going to be a birthday gift for my sister-in-law, whose birthday is on the same day as Noah's. So I got 2 of these. I got her a bunny and this teddy bear, and then I picked up an extra teddy bear to try for myself. I have not tried it yet. I literally just took the plastic off before I sat down to record and like pried the top of the lid off so that I could show you what was in it. So his name is Ted, and one of the selling points for me is this tin. I'm a sucker for a good box or a tin. Look at it. How cute. Who's calling me? Nobody needs to be calling me while I am recording. This is important business. So it comes with a sticker. Pretty obsessed with the sticker. It's gonna go on my yarn. I have a little trunk, like a little kind of Harry Potter type trunk. My husband got me a long time ago, and that is where I store my most special skeins of yarn, and it's covered in stickers. And so there's a QR code that you scan for the pattern, and then in here is all the yarn you need to make it, and probably way too much. You could probably make 2 of them. With my gauge, you could probably make 2 of them. So it has pink, it has white, it has a full ball of this gray. There's a crochet hook in there that I will absolutely not be using. And there's some vacuum packed stuffing. And then this is the stuff like the eyeballs and the darning needle and things like that. So I wanted to get that for my sister-in-law for her birthday because she has been getting into crochet lately. And she's been making little butterflies and little frogs and like really cute stuff. And I just thought it would be so great to give her something that has everything included. And she can follow the pattern if she wants. There's video tutorials if she wants them. Let's see if I can dump all this in my hand. There's a giant, that is a giant darning needle. There's some cool blue eyes, and they have sparkly backs to put on as well. And then there's a couple of these little plastic stitch markers. So it says cookie crumbs. Adorable. So I just really thought that would be a great gift for her, because that way she doesn't have to go find a pattern. She can make something. You already know what it's going to look like. It's very cute. It comes with everything you need. And you get a little tin. I'm a sucker for a tin, y'all. Sucker for a tin. So I will make this and report back. I was not at all upset that I had to go through the trial of getting the 3rd one for free so that I could try it. I thought about getting her 3 of them. I thought about it. And then I ended up with the 3rd one. Is that selfish? I don't know. I think 2's enough. 2's enough for a gift, right? Now, the last thing that came in the mail was a pre-order that I pre-ordered months and months and months ago. And I'm so happy to have this, and I'm so proud and excited and just full of excitement for this book. It is No Fear Sock Knitting by Denise, who is Earthones girl. And you know I love her. If you have been a follower of this channel for any length of time, I just think she's fabulous. Anytime someone is like, hey, I want to learn how to make socks, what do I do? I'm like, go check out Denise of Earthones girl. Look at her No Fear Socks pattern. She has amazing tutorials on YouTube. She has patterns in fingering and DK weight of yarn, toe up, top down. Like, she is your resource, okay? And now she has a book. The minute she said she was putting this out, like she was working on this, I was like, I'm gonna have to pre-order it. Like, I have to pre-order it. And some of these patterns are patterns that she has already created, and there's a lot of new patterns in here as well. So if you have never knit a sock, this is a great book for you. I've knit, at this point, 100 socks, probably more. But I knit the same thing every single time, right? And look, I got a handwritten note because I pre-ordered it from her website. Anyways, so cool. I wanted to show you a couple of the patterns. It has toe up, top down, how to measure your feet, how to begin, how to cast on, different kind of cuff options with ribbing, garter, twisted rib. And then there are all kinds of heels. There's heel flap and turn. There is the Shadow Wrap Short Row Heel, which I exclusively did for quite a while. And then there's a toe up heel flap and gusset, how to avoid holes, all kinds of things. There's all different kind of toe options. She has a wedge toe, a round toe, an anatomical toe. It's just really cool, okay? Now, where are the patterns? We have No Fear Shorty socks. That's the easiest one. There is Rising Up socks. This is a toe up sock, which when I started, I used to only knit toe up socks, and now I only knit top down socks. Why? There's a DK pair of socks, which I need to make a DK pair of socks. I keep saying I'm going to do that. There's a Socksploration shock. How many times can I say sock without tripping over my words? There's some ankle socks, which are really cute. This teaches you how to work a colorwork sock. Maybe someday I'll be brave enough to tackle that. And then this one is the one I'm most excited about. Helical socks. Look at that. I love to helical knit. I really do. And then this is the last pattern, which is it has a garter stitch heel flap, a square heel turn, and a round toe. I just think it's really cool. I would definitely be tempted into trying this. So essentially, I'm just really excited. I'm really excited that this book is out in the world. I know she worked so hard on it, and I think it's such a great resource to add to the many great resources that she already has. So you can order it on Amazon. I'll try and put a link below for that book. I'm just so happy that it's finally here, because I pre-ordered it months ago, and I'm sure she's so happy that it's finally here. So you should go watch the Earthones Girl podcast. I think she's fabulous. She has such a calming presence, and she's just so genuine and positive and sweet and so helpful and educational when it comes to knitting socks. Like, you don't need to go anywhere else. Go find Denise of Earthones Girl if you want to knit socks. And then also be prepared to make like a sacrificial sock that you offer to the sock gods without getting mad about it in case your sock doesn't fit. Yo, that was a lot. That was a lot. We can't go a month without chatting like this. We can't. That was too much. Too many finished objects, too much yarn. There's no such thing as too much yarn. As far as life stuff is concerned, there I feel like has been a lot going on, but I don't remember because it's been a month. All I will say is I finally had my iron infusions, and I am starting to feel like a human again. It has been much better. Like, I'm still tired because life and I have kids, but I am not scraping myself off the floor every morning. I am not falling asleep, putting Noah to sleep for his nap times. That is so helpful. And I am no longer either boiling hot or freezing cold at all times. So I guess iron has something to do with your temperature regulation. It has been so much better the last, I want to say 2 weeks. So much better. So we have to wait another 3 or 4 weeks and then check my iron again. Hopefully it's still in the good range. Noah is going to be 2 on Sunday. I cannot. I don't understand. How do I have a 2-year-old? Like, I truly don't understand how that happened. He's just the sweetest. And because he can have gluten again, I can make him a real, not that gluten-free cakes aren't real cake, but like, I don't know how to make a gluten-free cake. This is not my level of expertise, okay? My area of expertise. I've been trying really hard to make gluten-free things for him for about the last 6-7 months. And I made some good and some terrible. And gluten-free baking is a skill that takes years to master and a lot of fails. And it's all very expensive to fail because gluten-free flour is not cheap. And if you make your own flour blends, which I was doing, I'm just really, really happy that I can make him a tried and true chocolate cake recipe that I make for everyone's birthday. He got it for his first birthday. Nova's had it for all of her birthdays. Actually, that's not true. Last year she had a Publix cake because I didn't have time to make her a cake. And she wanted Elsa anyway, so it's perfect. I'm just so happy that he's going to have a real, quote-unquote, cake. It's still not going to have any dairy in it because he can't have any dairy. I can't either, so who cares? The chocolate cake I make doesn't have any dairy in it, and everyone loves it and has an amazing chocolate ganache on top. So yeah, we're going to do that. His birthday party will be like a week from when you're seeing this, just because that was the time when everyone could work on it. And like everybody has different traditions for their family birthday parties. Like my friend always, and my brother and his wife, they always go do something. They do some kind of event with their kids, which I think is lovely. But like we just have a little party at our house. We don't go anywhere. We don't rent bounce houses. We don't do anything crazy. We just have people come over and we make whatever's easy, tacos, hot dogs, something that the kids will like. And we do cake and presents and we hang out in the backyard and like, that's it. Like that's how my birthday parties were growing up. And I have such fond memories of them. And so I think like we don't make a huge deal out of it. He wants a Sonic birthday party. He has no idea what a birthday party is, why he's having one. He no concept, but he knows that he wants balloons and he knows he wants Sonic. So he's having a Sonic themed birthday party because Sonic is his most favorite thing in the whole world currently. And I ordered just like a poster, literally like a Sonic poster off Amazon for the decoration and some red and blue plates from Dollar Tree and some red and blue balloons from Dollar Tree. And that's it. And I got hot dogs, a bunch of hot dogs, BOGO, buy one, get one free at Publix. I want to say we have like 50 hot dogs, maybe more, which is fine because we'll probably have like 10 or 12 people come over and some of them eat a lot of hot dogs. I eat a lot of hot dogs. Okay. So really all I have to do is make a cake. I got to get hot dog buns. I have to make some hot dog buns so that Noah can eat them because store hot dog buns have dairy and soy in them. So he cannot eat them. But I will make him some hot dog buns that he can have for himself. And yeah, I can't believe he's 2. And now today is September 3rd, 4th? I think it's the 4th. I don't know what has happened, but the weather has changed. It is not as bad. Like September 1st, we woke up, we went outside, it was 75 degrees. The humidity was still 89%, mind you. It was 75 degrees. It has been hot all week. It is getting up to 90. It has not been 95. It has not been 97. Like something happened. It ticked over to September 1st. And now the weather is like, I can breathe. I can breathe again. We don't really have fall in Florida. We have 80-degree weather instead of 90-degree weather, but it's glorious. It's glorious. I'm so happy. And Noah has been so happy. We've been to a park every single morning this week after dropping Nova off at school. And he's just been playing outside, whereas last month and in July, it was like he would go outside and be like, ugh, he'd just turn red and just be dripping sweat. So it's the time of year when we go outdoors. Do you hear this weed whacking going on? It's my husband telling me to get off the camera. So yeah, I don't know what other updates there are because I can't remember, but I've been probably talking for way too long already anyways. So I'm just going to say, have a wonderful, wonderful beginning of September. I will see you in 2 weeks. Happy crafting. Join the WIP school. Make along if you haven't already. And be kind to yourself. And I will see y'all soon. Bye, friends.